All right, hello Washington Eagles. It is math time. It's Wednesday, April 29th. We are working with fractions. Yesterday we talked about sharing equally, and now we're going to kind of focus a little bit on fractions. So, all right, well, let's get to it. So we have this fraction 1/4, and remember a fraction is part of a whole. This is the denominator. Our number is the denominator. It has to hold up the numerator. So this is the numerator and that's the denominator. Our denominator represents the whole and our numerator represents the parts. So if we were to show 1/4 using this little picture, so here's our whole and it's been divided into 4 parts. And if we want to represent 1/4, then we're just going to color in one part of the 4. So here's our 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, and so there's our 1/4. Now, we can also use a line graph to represent fractions. So here's our 0, and here's our 4/4, because 4/4 equals 1, right? And so you got to make sure that you have how many parts? You got to have 4 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There are our 4 parts. And if we were to plot this, then we would just go 1/4. So here's our 1 part out of the 4. So 1/4. Okay? Let's try another one. Let's do so if we have so I'm going to shade in if I were to write this as a fraction, what would that look like? Okay, well, we need to know how many parts there are. How many parts are to that whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our 5 is going to be our denominator. Okay, 5 is our denominator because that is how many parts we have to make the whole. And now I want to know how many parts of this 5 are shaded in. Well, how many parts are shaded in? 1, 2. So now we have 2/5. Okay? So we have 2 parts shaded out of 5. If we were to make this into a number line, how many parts are we going to have to draw? 5. We got to draw 5 parts. And I'll try to make it even, but there are no guarantees. Okay, there's our 5/5. That equals a whole. Remember, this is a fraction. It's just part of a whole. Here's our 0. And so now we've got to make 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I were to represent that 2/5, we're going to say 1, 2. Here's our 2/5. And then we can think 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5, which equals, again, 1 whole. Now, one thing I want to kind of throw in there just a little bit is remember whenever we are, another way we can get to 2/5 is we can say 1/5 plus 1/5. So it's still kind of like this. 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 2/5. Because remember, whenever our denominator is the same, it needs to be the same, so we can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. But since our denominator is the same, it will always be the same here in your answer. The 5 will always stay a 5. Okay? So 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 2/5. So there's another way we can represent 2/5. Let's try another one. Let's see. So, make this. Here we go. How many parts do we have? Let's count. Actually, I'm going to shade in a few before we're going to shade in some. We're going to shade in that one. I'm going to shade in that one. And I'm going to shade in that one. Okay. So, there's our whole. How many parts are to that whole? Let's count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 parts to this whole. Well, what's our fraction part? What's our fraction part? So 1, 2, 3. 3 parts are shaded. So we have 3/8. Okay? So if we were to draw this on a number line, again, how many parts are we going to have on our number line? We're going to have 8 parts to this number line. So let's start counting. Again, it's probably not going to be equal, but what do you do? Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I almost got that. Okay, so here's our 8 over 8, which equals 1 whole. I'm going to count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 parts. Yay! So here's 0. If we were to plot this, what would that look like? Well, we're going to make 3 hops. 1, 2, 3. 3/8. There you go. There's our 3 parts over our whole, which is 8. And how can we do that? How can we represent 3/8? We can say 2/8 plus 1/8. And since our denominator is the same, our denominator is going to be the same. So that will be 8. And now we're just going to add the top. 2, 3. 3/8. So 2/8 plus 1/8 equals 3/8. How can we do that again? Well, we can say 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. Our denominator will stay the same because that's our whole. That's not changing. And how many? 1, 2, 3. 3/8. There's another way to write 3/8. All right. Here we're just kind of decomposing our numbers, and it makes it kind of easy to see visually what we're doing here. 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 is 3/8. Okay, we're going to do one more. Let me do one more, which will be, let's see. Okay, here we go. It can be any number. I mean, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I made it 11. Is that okay? Sure, that's fine. I was actually thinking 10, but we're doing it at 11. So here's our whole. And how many parts has this whole been divided into? It's been divided into 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 as our denominator. Okay? So what's going to be our numerator? Our numerator is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll throw in just for kicks and giggles, 7. So our fraction is going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's how many parts are shaded in. So we have 7/11. So yeah, go get an icy after this if you all want to. I mean, I just said 7/11. So, okay. So, this little picture represents our 7/11. How would we do that on a number line? Okay, well, again, we've got to draw out 11 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's a little bit long. That's okay. Nobody's perfect. So that's 11 over 11, or 1 whole. How many? What's our fraction part? 7. So we're going to make 7 hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here's our 7/11. Okay. So it's just 7 parts out of our 1 whole. So how can we represent that again? Well, okay. So we have to get to number, so we can say 5 over 11 plus 2 over 11. All right, since our denominator is the same, we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to say 11 and 5, 6, 7. Well, there we represented it another way. Let's do it one more time. That's one more way we can represent 7/11ths. So let's say 2 plus 2, so there's 4, plus 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7/11ths right there. All right, nice work. Nice job. Tomorrow we're going to be working on equivalent fractions, which will be, a little bit of multiplying, which is awesome and good for everybody. So go outside, have fun, enjoy your afternoon, read a book, play a game. That's your math homework. Go play a game with your family. All right? Love you guys. Be safe. Bye.